Hello and welcome back to the channel where we are making a video game from scratch using Love2d and Lua. We're almost done with the demo. We are basically done, minus a couple little fixes, right? Like we have to fix, the you can open a loot while you're still in bed the very first time you gain control, and also there's some map indices rendering in the minimap that I'm not sure we want to keep because the underworld has different indices and it just could get confusing, I think, for players. So I think we're just going to omit that entirely. I think we are, yeah. Yeah, and then maybe we make it so that if you're in the minimap and you're in the underworld, that you can't move the buttons and navigate the map. It's just, you just get to look at it and that's it. So maybe that's the fix. We just stop rendering the indices and then we limit movement on the on the otherworld map locations. Okay, so that we have an element color bug fix we need for the opening cinematic. So in order to trigger the opening cinematic, we'll just delete our save file real quick. And we should be able to start from the opening cinematic here. Okay, so see that element color in our A slot? That shouldn't be red. That shouldn't be red. So we need to fix the element slot. And then we also need to fix where if you hit A right here, you can pick up the loot right away in bed, which I just don't want that to be possible. If you're facing down, I just don't want you to be able to open it. So that's going to be a little tricky because I don't know if this is... We'll have to see where we put this intro text logic, if it's in the intro mage trigger or if it's somewhere else, because we need to do it there. Oh, and you know what? This is a different speed. This is a different text printing speed than everything else. It's too slow, or it's way too fast here. But I don't know where we're doing that. Probably, let's take a look at our intro top trigger. Won't we would just have like a dialog box that's being updated. So why is that one so much faster than every other dialog box? I don't know. Let's see if we can fix the element color render. So here there is a element, I want to say it's called element color. And it's on the global key item inventory here. So we have a transparent constant we can use to set this, but we want to basically in our init assign the element color to be the transparent enum there, and we'll see if it fixes the element color in the mage init. So if we were to print up the key item inventory, yeah, that is it. Let me just try putting it in the update and seeing if it changes anything. It could also just be getting reset, right? It could be getting set right before it draws, like manually set, which I'm kind of thinking happens because this shouldn't be overwritten like this. But let's see this element color in this file. Let's see element color. We set. Yeah, see, so this is it, but it's like we set, I guess we can do this where we set the color to be transparent. I mean, we could even just set this to transparent. This is like, we probably won't even need this in the final game because we render the actual images instead of the colors for the elements. We're still getting it though. Wait. We really just render it red wherever? Okay. This is the right one, right? Because if we make this like a weird number, it should change the circle we're rendering. Oh no, that's the XY. What? That's the one, right? Okay, what's happening? I'm just gonna say we're not gonna render a circle for that. Let's just see, because we shouldn't need it. And it's still red. What, dude? Is it in the play state? No, it's not in the play state. It's a cinematic. Opening cinematic. And in the opening cinematic, we're rendering the circle here. We're saying we're going to set the color here, but we really, in the opening cinematic, we don't want our element color. We just don't want it. Cool. Okay, so that's fixed at least. Now, let's play it through. When we get Flamma, we should get Flamma rendering back in there, no problem. So let's just test that first. See how that's a different speed? Right? Right? It's like half the speed. We didn't get Flamma. We should have a thing where it says Flamma's unlocked here in the intro mage top trigger, where Flamma, draw Flamma, no? There should be a Flamma unlocked. And why don't we, should we equip it for him? Let's just make it unlocked. And in the intro trigger, as soon as we get a show off, which is in what step? Right here in step 6. Once we change to the show off, we're just going to say, okay, well, Flamma unlocked is now true. And then we can maybe also equip it, but we don't auto-equip the tunic, so we probably don't want to auto-equip the elements. I mean, I kind of like making people have to figure it out, because it's like, if right from the get-go they don't have it equipped, then they have to learn how to do it, to take it off or put it on. Oh, what happened? What the heck? It's because either when we switched, damn it, it's either when we switched to the minimap or the inventory state, we changed state back into the play state rather than the intro cinematic state, which is one of the bad things about allowing pause to happen here. I don't know how we want to control triggering that. I really don't know. We'll play nice. Get through. I still think that's twice as fast. Okay. We've got Flamma unlocked now. Good. Good. Okay, so you still have to equip it, but it is unlocked. Okay, so let's see if we can find, hopefully we can find the double speed up on the text render here, but I don't know. I mean, the only thing I could think of is that we're updating it twice, like a nested update delta time for the dialogue. Something like that, I'm thinking has to kind of be the case. Where do we update the dialogue box right here in the mage intro top trigger, but I feel like we also update it in the play state or in the opening cinematic state. Opening cinematic state, yeah. No, I think opening cinematic state actually ends in the castle, once we get to the castle. Shit. Okay, so where's the issue coming from? Are we updating it? Are we really updating it twice? You know, twice as often as we should? Let's see, we've got, because we update the scene, which, no, if the dialogue boxes are in the scene, I don't think they are. Dialogue update. Step 3. If there is an active dialogue ID, let's go ahead and update it. And then here in step 3, we update it only on a 1019. So we do it twice, right? We do it right here and we do it over here. I feel like we don't need, what, do we not need this one? It seems a lot better, actually. Whoa! See how that one's twice as fast? Okay. So after, hold on. After, I want to say, it's right here. Let me just try taking these out, because I think we're double updating it somewhere. We seem to fix... Hey, Tofu, what's up? We seem to fix the speed for the first half, but it's sped up again. I feel like I want a sound effect there. We don't have one though. Yeah, I feel like we do want a sound effect for getting Flamma. Okay, and then... Okay, then Flamma's equipable. Okay. This... Okay, we're in good shape. I think the only thing I want to check is if we're in the opening cinematic and we go to minimap, it might change the active state to play state rather than opening cinematic state, or mage intro top trigger state, which is like the stupidest name ever. But I think if we can just fix that, then I think we're pretty good for the intro. Do we really just... Because it's weird that we do this thing here where I just turned off updating the dialogue ID and it fixed everything, because I'm assuming we update the dialogue ID in the play state, in the well, actually, yeah, if we're only in the mage intro top trigger, I don't know where it's getting updated then. What do you mean theme? What theme? The game? For the game or the text editor or what? We've got to be updating the dialog box somewhere, because we're no longer doing it here, but that fixed our issues. So I don't know where that is. But maybe we make... Let's see if we can do... Let's see. Don't I have VFXer? Oh, come on, dude. Okay, so we need the sound for Flamma, and then we do this thing where when we change into the toggle minimap, and we call it what, minimap? Toggle minimap? Yeah, when we change to minimap. Okay, so when we change to minimap, we want to... This is just in the play state. We have to kind of... How do we do this? Because instead of changing to the play state from an active minimap or inventory, if we're in the room and we're still in the tutorial, because we're not in the play state, we're in the mage intro trigger, then we need to be able to say while we're in minimap, hey, we're still in the room, right? Like tutorial is not finished yet. So we can say tutorial finished, initialized as false, or yeah, like tutorial finished, intro is false, and then as soon as we get Flamma, we can say, okay, we're true now. So now, anytime we hit the select button and we're in the minimap and we're in the tutorial, it'll change state, not back to play state, but back to mage intro top trigger state. Let's declare a bool here called tutorial completed, initialized as false, and we want to be able to say it's only coming out of these other themes, right? So like once we're in the minimap, state, is that right? No, what the? It's a state, isn't it? Minimap. State, game state, yeah. Okay. So here's the minimap. Now we need the reactivate, right, with select or whatever it is. Select or start, whatever it is. Yes, play state. Okay, so if tutorial completed, then go ahead, change to the play state. If we're not tutorial completed, we want to change back into the mage intro. What is that? Tutorial mage. What is it? G state machine. Let's see. Mage intro top trigger. Okay. And then we just need to set tutorial completed once we get Flamma in the mage intro top trigger. So whenever we do the Flamma unlocked, step 7, then we're going to say, you know what, overwrite that tutorial completed to be false. And then true. And then since we initialize it and if we reload the game, we would reinitialize back to false, and then we would never get trigger true because we would never be in this mage intro top trigger again. So maybe in our load player data, we could just say, well, if we're loading our player data, we know we completed the tutorial, and just set it like that. It's just so weird. It's kind of weird to just put it there. But if we load the player data, it should be after all the inits, right? So it kind of just helps us bypass, because I don't know the order of operations. Everything gets imported and referenced, so maybe that'll just work. Let's try to see if we can trigger a mage intro after coming out of a minimap in the beginning of the game here. If you try to pause here, it doesn't work because this is still opening cinematic. This becomes mage intro. Now we can pause, we can come out, and it didn't work. It didn't work. It didn't work. Yeah, we must have went back to the play state. Did we have, you know what? We only had this in, we actually only did this in what is this? Current page is 3. Show off tutorial completed. So we only did this, okay, we only changed this when we're done with the tutorial after we get Flamma, but we need is to make sure we're not, we should change back. Oh, you know what it is? When we added this to, oh, we know this is in the minimap. Yeah. If select is pressed. Okay. So tutorial should not have been completed. Let me just print up. What the heck, man? Tutorial completed is true already. What the heck? Did we load game? We did load game. Okay. Let's just say... I don't know. We have to trigger this. It's bad. I don't like it because we'd have to carry it over saves, right? Like I would rather it not have to. We don't have to reference it. It's just that. Yeah, we can't put it here in load data because we load data upon an empty game, which creates the save file. So we can't do that. But we could say, well, I mean, I guess we could do it here where we say, well, if there's no save data already, then we know that this is false. I mean, this would already be false. Tutorial completed, meaning we already have a save file. Then we can say, okay, well, this is actually true now because we had a save file, so that means we're done with this. But it doesn't. This one gets swapped when we get Flamma, but this one gets swapped for people once they have a save file. So this now it should be tutorial complete false. Yeah, and then we should be able to trigger a mage cinematic out of a minimap, and then we'll have to do the same for inventory, and then we can worry about the loot fix. That's fucked up, dude. That's fucked up. Oh, fuck. Okay, so let's pull up minimap. Cool. And we still triggered mage. Cool. We need to also trigger it based on a inventory reset too. So just like how we're doing it for our tutorial completed. Right here. Just like how we do this, we say in our inventory class, it should be inventory. There should be in the inventory class, there should be a time where we're saying anytime start is pressed, go back to play state. I don't see it. I don't see it. Inventory. It's actually a pause state. Inventory is the class that holds it, but the pause state, that's an awful name. Right here. Instead of going here, okay. We've got a couple things. If tutorial completed, then if this, change refinery state. Otherwise, play state. If tutorial completed, we want to change to play state. Otherwise, change to mage intro top trigger. And then this one is like, okay, well, is it refinery or play state? It depends on which scene we're at. But these should all be okay. So let's test it from inventory. We're gonna, cancel out of the inventory and see if we can trigger the mage intro still. This is all to go great lengths to keep our main Lua kind of scripted with these events and kind of segmented. I don't know if it's a very good way to do it. I think it's pretty messy, to be honest. It's better than everything being in the play state. I'll give you that. Okay, so we're gonna open up our minimap. We're gonna open up our inventory. We're gonna come out. We're gonna see if we could trigger mage. Nice. Nice. what's up? F-Knock, what up? We need a new sound effect. We need a sound effect for getting Flamma, but the save... the opening cinematic now works more as intended. And we can't, you know, break out of the castle by just pausing it or hitting select. So now that that's fixed, that's a lot better. But we do need... we need a sound effect for Flamma, and then we need some kind of way to limit opening the loot before you've walked out of your bed. Which, if we're in the opening cinematic, it should be easy. If it were ended up in the play state, then it'll be a little tougher. But it might be in the opening cinematic. Let's see, because I think... Let's see our opening cinematic if we have a state name field for it. Do we have... We do have a state name for it, so we can print the state name just like we're printing up in our main right now. And we can try to do this where we say print to a string, and what we'll do is just put our global state machine dot current dot state name, and we should be able to see if we stay in the play state or if we are in the opening cinematic still by the time we're in the bed. So opening cinematic here, I think we're still in the opening cinematic by the time we're stuck in bed, and that will make the next part easier. Yes, we are in the opening cinematic, which means we cannot pause. And it also means if we're in the opening cinematic, we can say something like, if you are facing down, you cannot open the chest. You have to open it from the side or from the bottom so that you can't trigger it in bed. Because the first thing, you know, we dump them here, and the first thing they see is spacebar is A, and they try spacebar, and they open the loot in bed. And it just doesn't feel right. Okay, we're going to the opening cinematic. And we're looking for when we update our dialogue boxes, because that's what is activating, right? So we have this, if action is pressed, if the A button is pressed, we cycle through our dialogue boxes in the current scene. And if there is a dialogue box in that scene and it is not already activated, we're going to go ahead, flush the text, make it activated, steal its dialogue ID, assign it into our scene view's active dialogue ID, and then go on to check if it's a treasure chest or not. So here, instead of, and this is like, okay, so it's not a dialogue box. We probably can get rid of this altogether in the opening cinematic. Yeah, we probably could, because there's no dialogue box to collide with in the opening cinematic. There's only a collidable map object that has a dialogue box inside it, I think. No. There is, okay, so there is a dialogue box, but we don't collide with the dialogue box. We collide with the map object, and it activates the text that's in the dialogue box. So I'm going to leave it for now. I don't think it really matters, but we're going to say, you know, we cycle through our map objects. If it's a treasure chest and not opened, and we collide with it, we can also say, and our player.direction does not equal down. And if it's not down, then we're going to go ahead and open that chest. So let's try that. Let's try it from the beginning. If we spam space from the beginning, we shouldn't open the loot anymore if we spam space now. And this is okay, because it should be not possible to open the loot in this room, and the only time we have player autonomy in the opening cinematic state. Oh, see, look at this. This is what I'm saying. it detected a dialog box collision because we are colliding with the dialog box that's in a collidable map object. So I want to say we can probably take this off because we're only really caring about the collidable map object because that's the only thing that's in the room that you can interact with. So I'm going to try to spam it again, but that's exactly why we needed to fix this, is if you spam square or if you spam spacebar, it just starts printing up the loot text. Okay, I'm spamming it now. Okay, we haven't got it yet. Okay, we can do it. We can open it, and we can't open it from bed, which is good. And then once we're in here, we've got the opening cinematic. Oh, mage intro top trigger. Yep, we keep coming back to the mage intro top trigger, which means we will, you know, we can't just walk out the castle without getting Flamma, because that would be killer. Or that would be very bad, you know. So we get it. And then as soon as we get Flamma, it should change to the play state. He gives us Flamma. And then as soon as as soon as he triggers that mage wall there, play state, boom. Play state, we got the collidable map objects. Cool. So mage walks back up there, we're good, and we've got Flamma. Great. This is it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we get rid of this. I'm gonna leave it there for now, just in case we want to put like a journal on the table in the opening room there, but this works. I think this is a good place to commit, at least, and then we'll take a look and see if we can test something with oh, you know what, we need to fix the mini-map indice rendering for the otherworld, and then once that's done, gosh, I think that's all I know to fix. Then we just need to try to break the game, and then if we're feeling okay at that point, then we send the game out for playtesting for the demo. Because I've been able to break it in so many different ways. Yo, Rev, what's up, dude? Yo, going well, dude. Hope you're doing good, too. Yeah, so, Rev, if you want to help playtest the demo, I'm thinking this week I'll have executable builds out for people to playtest before it goes live on Steam as the demo. So if you're into that, I think you're already in the Discord, but I'll have to ping you when it's ready. Yeah, I think we're ready to do a little commit. Yo, Rev, thanks for the Prime. Yo, thanks, dude. Yeah, I hope you've been doing well. Okay, we're looking for our crappy state name render here. Okay. Let's take a look at our git diff real quick and just see what we did. So we added this bool for tutorial completeness, and that's just to prevent premature cinematic exit at the beginning. I really do think that's a good addition, because that means when the player reads how to toggle the minimap on the screen that they read it, they can try toggling the minimap, which before wasn't possible. So I think it was worth doing. Then we did the loot bug fix, and then yeah, we ensure that we change to the mage intro top trigger so that we can trigger getting Flamma, because if you miss that, you're screwed. So this is going to be something like tutorial completion setting for state change, and that's like all we did. Let's see if we can try to do oh, that's good to hear, Rev. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's been crazy on my end too. I've had to move in the past couple months, and that always just takes it out of you. And then working, you know, jobs while you got to move, and then trying to stream or trying to do anything is just like a lot. But I'm basically settled here in the new place. There's a couple optimizations to make with the stream. This is one of the last streams I want to be doing on Windows. I've got the Linux set up, all configured and tested. It's just that the Stream Deck, I haven't got the Stream Deck to work on Linux yet. So hopefully I can do that with not too much hassle, and then I'll be full time on Linux for development, which will be very nice. Okay. So let's think about what the problem is here, because it's wow, dang dude, that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, hopefully you're not too overwhelmed with that. I know that's a lot of change all at once. Okay, so once we get out of here, we'll save it so we have at least a default save location, but then we're going to test the map indices rendering for the mini-map in the otherworld. And the otherworld is what I call every map that's not in the overworld. So right now we're technically in the otherworld because we're inside the castle, and this is like a 1019 or something on the map indices. Oh, did I? You know what? I just found a glitch. If you cancel, oh my gosh, if you cancel his, if you shit. Oh man. Well, at least, did I get it? Did I not get it? Fuck, I still didn't get it. Okay, we should make it so that you can't quit out of Mage's text box, because we have it here. Like some of these text boxes are like 12 pages. I mean, not really, but it feels like it. But I made it so that you can quit with B, but then if you quit, yeah, we can't Mage it. If Mage is active, you shouldn't be able to quit. So let's just fix that real quick. That would be in the Mage intro, top trigger, and we have a thing. We have action B is what we call it in the baton definition. No? Where is it? It's a cancel, isn't it? And you know what? This is kind of like a, just like we had that error with the double updating for the text speed, for the print speed. I think we're doing something kind of similar for how we're doing the, actually I don't know. Because I don't see any logic in here that says if you hit escape, stop, but that logic is in the dialog box. So we're getting into like nested states and class update conflicts. That makes it a little difficult here to wrap your head around. Yeah, because when we hit B to cancel the dialog box, it's not in the state machine, it's rendering that, it's in the class. And the current state is updating the current class object. So if we would have to add that as a method or something to I don't know how to do it because what's really happening is it's really just catching it in the dialog box class. Let's just look at that. Yeah. So yeah, anytime we do that update delta time on our dialog box, that is what's listening for this action B press in baton. That goes ahead and cancels out. Well, activated false. Yeah. Okay. So this is what I have been finding to be the hardest part about game development, and it's just this kind of how to handle. It's, you know, I mean, it sounds simple, but it's just how to handle data over time, and it's just like some of this stuff is designed in the play state, some of it is designed in a class, so it's just getting muddled up, and it's hard for me to understand the architecture, or like how the architecture is supposed to look, because we get these issues like double updating because we tried updating in the cinematic state for the text printing, and then the actual dialog box update, which updated the text printing, and then that's why we got the weird issues. Because right here we're looking for something like we're gonna say, hey, if action B is pressed, well, like if our active dialog box is the mage as he's talking, we don't want it to quit. So we could add a field into our dialog box that says unskippable, and if it's unskippable, pressing B just doesn't do anything. So maybe we do something like that where we can say and not self unskippable, then go ahead, do all that stuff, and we'll be not unskippable. Goddamn. Let's not do a negative bool here. Let's just say if it's a skippable dialog box and you hit B, skip it. And we'll say we default skippable to true. Like we default it true. So skippable gets true. So we need to go into the dialog box after we make it for the mage. Oh gosh. When we go and make it, we have the dialog box and it's inserted here, and we give it an index. We give it a 13 index. So we should be able to say dialog box index 13 dot skippable gets false. It is not skippable. And that means when you hit B in it, since it's not skippable, it doesn't skip. Hopefully. Because we table dot insert this into the 13th index in the dialog box, then we go into that 13th index into the skippable field which we just added and overwrite it to false. The init initializes it to true, defaults to you can skip it. Then we say, okay, yeah, you can't skip this one though. We just overwrite it. We init it, overwrite it. So let's see if we can skip it. Oh yeah, we're not table dot inserting. We're just going to that location. I really love the new setup on Linux. I really, really, really like it. I cannot wait to get off Windows. It's just a Stream Deck thing at this point. Okay. We get our loot. Cool. Okay, let's see. We can skip a normal dialog box like this. We can skip all these. This is fine. Let's see if we can skip the 13th dialog box on this page. We cannot. Okay. So this is just an unskippable dialog box now. So this is great because our dialog boxes are hard-coded to certain indices. So we do have explicit control over if it's skippable now. Oh, did I do it wrong? Oh, no, that was the end. Okay, we got Flamma. We weren't able to skip it. He triggered right, and even the minimap and the inventory didn't trigger play state change prematurely, so I think we're in business there. Oh god. Okay, the game is harder since I put a limit on the Manus regen. It's tougher, but it also means you can't just spam it now, so you have to strategically be able to charge it up so that you can really get the timing right. Okay, dude, I think we're so close. That was most of the bugs. That was all but one of the bugs I know we need to fix before playtesting. So the only thing we have left is right here in our minimap. See how we're rendering 5.1? We're rendering the indices at the top left, which I kind of like, and I might keep it if we're in the otherworld. So maybe there's a check. Maybe there's a check in the minimap. When we change to the minimap, we get our player's current scene view row and call. We make sure it's within the 1010 overworld. If it's in the 1010 overworld, we render our indices and we allow the input to change grids and we render the cursor. But if we're in the other world, if our scene view map row and call is greater than the 10 by 10, then we're not going to render our cursor. We're not going to listen for directional input. We might change the name of the thing that's printed to be question mark because you're underground or whatever. Or we might have a different system for that eventually, but okay. Well, let's start there. Let's start there with just the conditional rendering for the cursor and map indices, and we'll take it from there. So we have a minimap class, and when we change to it, and I don't want to do it in the init, it's like we want to just test whether or not, if we're in option 1 or 2 or whatever for the render. So like when we go to render the things and we say, render the map cursor, render Tashio Mini, render the name, render all this stuff, we're only gonna do if the minimap overworld is true. We don't have this, we just stubbed this out. So if our, oh god, we screwed this up. Dude, how we screwed this up so bad. Yeah, if our minimap is in the overworld, then yes, we want to render all of our stuff. Our cursor, our minimap, our Tashio. If we're not in the overworld, we don't render those things. Or we render a conditional title for the location name. We could do that. I mean, we could say, for now, we can just test something and just say that we're going to print, all we're going to do is just say otherworld. Okay, and it shouldn't render the scene index, it shouldn't render the default name, and it shouldn't render Tashio or the cursor. And it should also not do the inputs. So for the input directions for when we play the sound and everything, we need this, all this input logic as a thing, as a yeah, if input list is wait. Okay, no, I think this is okay. I think we can do we want to say and our mini maps dot it's a field we just added, right? It was otherworld, overworld. So if our minimap is in the overworld, go ahead and do all those inputs. But we need to trigger overworld to get false if minimap is updated and our current map is out of bounds. Our current thing is in the overworld. Our map row and call is in the otherworld. So we need to look for when we change our state to minimap. And when we change our state to minimap, right here, we need to ask, before we do this, before we change to minimap, we're gonna ask, well, no, it's just that, yeah, we would do it after it gets initialized, and we would say not current map, the state machine current, so the minimap dot overworld gets whatever. So then we would say, since this is in the play state, if the global player dot scene view, or the scene view, where did we put it? I think we put it, we could do the scene view. So if the scene view dot current map dot row is smaller than or equal to 10, and the column as well is also smaller than or equal to 10, then we know that our minimap's current overworld field gets true. And otherwise, we are outside of bounds of the overworld, therefore overworld is false, therefore hopefully we have that conditional rendering. So let's see if we get what we want in our minimap. We should have saved it so we get that. We'll save that next. We just got to get out of the tutorial, and then we can test it. This is why this was still unpolished, because anytime we had it turned on, we just had to wait and talk our way through the tutorial to test things. Okay, I'm just gonna save it real quick. And then the thing we're checking out is the otherworld and overworld map rendering. So I'm just gonna save it. Okay, we render the 7.4, we render the cursor, we render the names. That's good. Now that is there and here. See, look. Oh, nice. This is exactly what we wanted. This is exactly what we wanted. The inputs don't make sounds. We don't render the thing. This is great. Let's try it in a house like Fisher's Hut and make sure it works there too. I mean, it should. Otherworld, yep. Yeah. Ideally we have a thing we can highlight, a cursor we can highlight in the general area the player is, but the bigger the dungeon is, the more offset that'll be. And I don't know. I feel like if you're underground, the map, you just don't know. It'll just say this. But instead of otherworld, we do a love.graphics.set color to be black, and we just put 3 question marks, and that's it. So let's try that. We saved it. We should get the fast load, and then we'll see. Okay, and we've got 7.4, 7.2. Okay. Okay, yeah, we got the 3 question marks. Love it. I like it. Okay, dude, that was the only 3 bugs I knew of to fix. So what I'll do is let's commit, and then we'll push, and then I'll do a playthrough myself tomorrow, trying to squeeze out any bugs I can, and if I'm feeling okay about it, I'll probably enable full screen and then build an executable build for Windows, Mac, and Linux so that we can get playtesting out there, and then any note anyone gives me, we can make a bug report and just make sure it gets fixed until we're feeling pretty confident about the release on Steam. It's big. It's big. It's feeling really close. Yeah, it's feeling really close. Wow. So let's take a look at our git diff, and then we'll see. Yeah, okay, so skippable, yeah, we added a skippable object, and then we fixed the overworld bug. So let's call it add skippable bool to dialog box objects, dialog boxes, and we render question mark in otherworlds locations. Cool. All right. So that'll be it for today. I'll be back tomorrow. I think, dude, we're not adding anything else to the game. We're not adding anything. So it's just polish and bug fixes at this point. So I'll post in the Discord when the builds are ready. And probably the web development too, if people could help with trying that. I feel more confident about that because I've been playing that one a bit more. But I should try to beat it from scratch with the mobile deployment, even though the mobile deployment doesn't have the opening cinematic, but we should be able to get to the end in one life in one session on the mobile deployment, and then I don't know, I feel pretty good about it. Just seeing who we can raid out to. We got Hypnotic. We might raid out to Hypnotic. Yeah, we'll hit up Hypnotic. We haven't hit him in a while. But thanks for watching, y'all. I'll be back tomorrow. And this week, the demo's done. This week, the executables are out for playtesting. And then maybe or maybe not, the demo's done. So we're right there, and then I'll get to I want to read a bit about if it's okay to share the process about posting and publishing on Steam, because I want to kind of document some of that. But I heard someone mention that some they're kind of secretive about some of that stuff, so I might stream parts of it and I might omit other parts. So we'll see how that goes, but we'll raid out here. Oh, it's gonna be a double raid. He just got raided, so